local. This is KOTA Territory News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Delane Cleveland.
And I'm Amanda Greslin. This is KOTA Territory News at 10. The official estimates aren't out, but longtime rally goers agree that fewer people have come to the 67th annual Sturgis rally than any in recent memory.
Consequently, some vendors say business has also faltered, but that still won't stop many from coming back in the future because it's still the largest motorcycle rally in the country.
The sights and sounds of the Sturgis Rally go well beyond what you see overlooking Main Street. Tattoos are just as synonymous with the biker culture, and this shop is a hectic place during Rally Week, but not as hectic as in years past.
Our numbers slightly down just because we don't have the masses, but as a whole, it's just about the same sales as last year.
Those stagnant sales numbers won't keep Robert Ferguson from coming back year after year, because regardless of attendance, Ferguson says this is where vendors come to make themselves known.
There are so many people that are vastly from other places. So in my opinion, this is where most larger promoters come out and promote their product.
That's not just true for tattoos. This California-based motorcycle company actually sold out of all its merchandise at this year's rally.
You know, we'd seen a big surge in numbers over the last several years.
Yet sales are off 30% from last year. A deterrent? Not a chance.
If you're going to be a major player in the market, in the motorcycle industry, you've got to do the major rallies, and Sturgis is certainly the major rally in the country. It's in the middle of the country. Everybody from both coasts come.
But that doesn't mean they'll fork out $7 for food. This family sets up shop all over the nation. They say it's their first rally, and it'll probably be their last.
It's not as busy as the other festivals and the kind of things that we work at.
A sentiment shared by dozens of other vendors this year. But despite the loss in business, there's one thing that remains constant.
If you like to watch people, there's no better place I could think of to be this week than right here.
Well, speculation among rally organizers and vendors as to why attendance is down ranges from everything to high gas prices, a slow economy, and unfair comparisons to rallies from previous years.
Those bikers and vendors packing up and heading out give local law enforcement officers a little bit of breathing room. While the number of fatal accidents for the rally remains at 4, the number of injury accidents has risen slightly to 133. There are 57 felony drug arrests and 291 misdemeanor drug arrests. Also, 38 people face other felony charges. There have been 4 stolen motorcycles. 1 was recovered. The Sturgis Police Department alone has responded to 1,246 calls during this rally. That does not include the Highway Patrol or Meade County Sheriff's Department calls for service.
Meantime, the smell of smoke drifting through KOTA territory was enough to put many people on edge.
We'll tell you where it's coming from after meteorologist Sarah Jordy brings us the forecast first. Sarah?
Well, it will be a beautiful morning tomorrow morning as temperatures are going to be in the 60s across KOTA territory, and then they'll be warming up into the 80s by lunchtime. And then here in Rapid City, we are going to see an afternoon high of 92 degrees in downtown. There's going to be very warm temperatures in the forecast, as well as some thunderstorms and a bit cool down by the end of the week. I'll tell you the rest when I return.
While we may have escaped any major fires during the Sturgis rally, many border state fires have people in KOTA territory smelling smoke. Fire dispatchers have received a number of calls from people who see or smell smoke outside. The smoke is from several large fires in Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming now drifting over the state. Anyone with breathing problems should avoid breathing smoke by staying inside or limiting outside exposure. Also important, if there is a lot of smoke in your area, limit how long your children or pets are outside as well. For more information, visit our website and click on this story.
The Canadian man fighting extradition to South Dakota for a 1975 slaying wants his country's Supreme Court to hear his case. In continuing coverage, this is the woman John Graham is accused of killing on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation 32 years ago, Anime Pictou-Akwash. Graham was taken into custody in June after a British Columbia judge denied his appeal of an order that he be sent to the United States to stand trial. He had been under house arrest and now has until September 25th to submit documents showing why he should be allowed to appeal. If a panel of 3 Supreme Court judges denies Graham's request, he could be extradited as early as next year. Another man was convicted and sentenced to life in prison for his part in that crime.
In other news around the state, a civil lawsuit filed in 2005 by a Pine Ridge woman accusing an Indian Health Services doctor of sexual contact is moving closer to trial. Tamara Starr comes out, brought the complaint in federal court in Rapid City against Dr. Muhammad Hassan of Ohio. She went to the IHS hospital in Pine Ridge in November 2005 for treatment of abdominal pain. According to the lawsuit, Hassan touched her inappropriately during the examination. Two men face first-degree murder charges in connection with a missing persons case in Brookings. Police Chief Brian Gums says the suspects are 19 or 20 years old, but he wouldn't name them. They were arrested Friday on charges they killed a 47-year-old man whose body has not yet been found. South Dakota has extended its waiver of some federal regulations for transporting petroleum. Federal regulations restrict the number of hours those truckers can drive. Earlier this summer, Governor Rounds waived that constraint and has now extended the executive order through September 9th. Oil companies are having a hard time maintaining their fuel inventory due to the temporary closing of a refinery in Kansas.
The Agriculture Department says the 2007 corn crop, pushed by a huge demand for ethanol, is expected to be the largest in history. Covering agriculture tonight, it's the first report of the season based on actual field and farm surveys. The nation's corn production is forecast at just more than 13 billion bushels. That's up 24% from last year, and the average price is $1.10 a bushel higher than last year. The USDA says strong prices suggest farmers' cash receipts will be strong and well above last year's levels as well. However, much of that's offset by higher energy and feed costs. While the USDA shows South Dakota should have a larger corn crop than last year, corn yields could be down as much as 40% in some portions of southeastern South Dakota, mostly due to drought. The soybean crop will likely weigh in less than last year as well. The state's August 1st soybean production forecast is almost 114 million bushels, and that's down 13% from last year.
A KOTA Territory community has about run out of room for its trash, so some much-needed work will expand the landfill. Construction has begun on the new $6 million cell at Sheridan City Landfill. The cell is 10 acres and should have a lifespan of 10 years. City leaders say with the current landfill almost full, it will be a race against the clock to finish the new cell in time.
So we're projecting that it'll be done October of next year, and it's a race against the clock because it looks like our current landfill is filling up much faster than we'd like, and it may be full by the end of next year. So
the city is working with the state to provide funding for the project.
Still to come, the guide to what could turn out to be a bit of a spooky summer vacation.
But first, that cramp in your leg really can be dangerous. We'll take a look at why all you bikers and the rest of us need to pay extra attention to it next.
So once again, you're saying I can order any combination of 5 items for just $5.95 every day.
Yep. So I can get 2 Arby's melts, curly fries, a turnover, and a shake.
$5.95 every day.
What about 5 melts?
$5.95 every single day.
No way.
Bet.
Do it.
Yeah, they're thinking Arby's. Pick 5 of your Arby's favorites for $5.95 every day, like the Arby's melt, curly fries, and a Jamocha shake. An everyday deal so great, it'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's.
We're kicking it up at the Central States Fair with 2 of the hottest music acts around, Neil McCoy and Taylor Swift. Neil McCoy brings his honky-tonk anthems, tender ballads, and good old American music with a stage presence that has twice won him Entertainer of the Year. 17-year-old Taylor Swift is the new star of Nashville and currently holds the #1 selling album. We're kicking it up with Neil McCoy and Taylor Swift at the Central States Fair.
With warmer weather here, more motorcycles are back on the road. Motorcycles may be difficult to see. After a crash, the drivers of other vehicles involved often say they didn't see the motorcycle.
Hello, I'm Detective Kyle Fees, and I ride a motorcycle. I have seen the results of major motorcycle accidents, so please be careful and watch out for motorcycles.
Always signal your intentions before changing lanes or merging with traffic. This allows the motorcyclist to anticipate traffic flow and find a safe lane position.
Is your chronic sinus or nasal condition making life miserable? Relief is available. Learn more on Health Source at KOTATV.com. Meet the experts at Sutcliffe Sinus Clinic.
The patient with nasal and sinus problems is very special to the Sutcliffe Clinic.
There are many solutions available to treat headaches, sinus infections, allergies, and more. Visit Health Source at KOTATV.com. bringing you the experts at Sutcliffe Sinus Clinic.
Tonight in the Family Healthcast, the hygiene hypothesis suggests early exposure in life to pets and germs can keep kids healthier in the long run.
And as Helene shows us tonight, there may be a link between farm animals and helping kids avoid Crohn's disease.
A comparison of 440 kids with the intestinal illness known as Crohn's disease to nearly 1,500 healthy kids finds kids with Crohn's were more likely to live in urban areas. They were also less likely to have regular contact with farm animals during their first year of life. This study also finds kids with Crohn's were more likely to have respiratory illness. Our Health Focus report, can zinc help you beat the common cold? A new study weighs all the evidence. Nearly everyone has to deal with a common cold at some point. Adults get an average of 3 colds per year. A child can suffer as many as 8. One popular remedy that is rumored to help beat colds is the mineral zinc, which is available in lozenges and sprays. But does zinc actually relieve cold symptoms? A new study reviewed all the evidence, which totaled more than 105 studies spanning 20 years. Doctors pulled out 14 of the highest quality studies that compared zinc treatments to a placebo. Overall, they found no convincing evidence that zinc could alleviate cold symptoms. Much of this research still had problems with the study design, making the conclusion uncertain. Of the remaining studies, only one found a positive effect of zinc nasal gel. Moreover, zinc does have side effects. One previous study found nausea was 5 times as common in people taking zinc as those taking placebo. Doctors say more, better quality studies are needed, but that right now zinc cannot be recommended to treat the common cold. A warning for bikers as they head home from this year's rally, that pain or that cramp in your leg, it can be dangerous. There is a condition called venous thromboembolism, which is caused by long periods of immobility, such as that long ride home. It is a blood clot in the deep vein of the leg. Besides the pain, the problem is that the clot can break free and end up in an organ like your heart. So keep the legs moving, get off the bike more, and avoid dehydration. And don't think you can stretch just when you get gas. Some bikes can run for 3 hours before a fill-up.
Yeah, ideally, you really need to stretch your legs, move those muscles more regularly than sometimes the larger gas tanks would allow.
VTE symptoms include swelling, pain or tenderness in your leg, increased warmth, redness or discolorization in your leg. Your age, your weight, family history, even if you smoke, are all risk factors to consider. To watch the Healthcast again, log on to KOTATV.com. With the Family Healthcast, I'm Helene Duhamel.
Tomorrow in the Family Healthcast, braces for bones.
Well, the Harney Little Leaguers slug it out in the regional final, showing off their stuff on ESPN, no less. Highlights on the way in sports.
And while they were playing elsewhere, it was a perfect day for a game here in KOTA territory. Finally, a bit of a break from that extreme heat. Meteorologist Sarah Jordy shows us how long it lasts after the break and tonight's winning Powerball numbers.
While working on the job, Joe suffered a disfiguring injury to his face. Both the emergency room doctor and plastic surgeon recommended surgery to reduce the scar across his cheek. Joe submitted his request for payment to his employer's insurer and was denied. We helped prove that Joe's surgery was reasonable and necessary. And because the adjuster had unreasonably denied the claim, his attorney's fees were also paid. If you feel an insurance adjuster has unreasonably denied your job claim, call us at Whiting, Hagen, Hague. We can help.
Does your child need braces? The American Association of Orthodontists recommends all children be seen for an orthodontic screening no later than age 7. Dr. Richard Meyer and Dr. Chad Meyer are leading specialists in orthodontics. Seeing a child at an early age can help identify potential problems earlier so they can be more simply and effectively treated. 80% of jaw growth is completed by age 8. Therefore, timing of orthodontics is very important. Learn more. Visit HealthSource at KOTATV.com.
Selling your car takes time and money. Let KOTAAutos.com do the work. KOTAAutos.com will advertise your vehicle online for 2 weeks. KOTA Territory Autos. Let us sell your vehicle for you.
KOTA Territory and Whiting, Hague & Hague proudly present the best of the class of 2007.
Autographs, a cap and gown, honors that you've earned.
future that looks bright because of everything you've learned. You're the best of the class this year.
KOTA Territory and Whiting, Hague & Hague salute those students who have achieved academic excellence. They're the best of the class of 2007.
Over 60 million people do it every week. And this fall, it's coming to television. Merv Griffin's Crosswords, hosted by Ty Treadway.
Game on!
From the creator of Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy! Merv Griffin's Crosswords.
You're in good company. Golden West. And now your first alert weather. Here's meteorologist Sarah Jordy.
This is our first alert WeatherNet site here at the station, currently at 75 degrees. And as you can kind of see in the, as the Golden West weather cam comes into the evening, we can see that haziness from those clouds, from those fires that they were talking about earlier. As we take it into tomorrow, we're going to see temperatures in the 60s early on, and then we'll be warming up into temperatures in the 80s here in Rapid City with a high of 92 degrees in the afternoon. Edgemont is going to see temperatures in the 90s by lunchtime, and then they're going to see an afternoon high of 96 degrees. And for my viewers in Sundance, Wyoming, you'll see an afternoon high of 90 degrees tomorrow. High temperatures across the nation. It was triple digits down in the south, 80s up in the northeast. 106 for the hot spot in Las Vegas today. However, just to the north, San Francisco, a very foggy San Francisco, only made it up to a high of 65 degrees. I had to double check just to make sure that was correct. So overall, beautiful day across the nation. Our highs in the KOTA Territory, 89 in Rapid City at the airport, just slightly cooler in downtown Rapid City, 85 in Gillette, 81 in Custer, 94 for a high down in Torrington, 94 in Phillip as well. Currently, we are sitting at very comfortable temperatures for the evening. We've cooled down to 75 degrees out at the airport. Custer is seeing 67 degrees and then 71 for the viewers in Pine Ridge this evening. Very comfortable across the region. Most of the weather action was across Minnesota and Wisconsin this afternoon as they are battling thunderstorms into the evening as well. All day long, they've been seeing thunderstorms, and then we see some developing down into Georgia and into southern Florida. Very clear across the Midwest and out into the western part of the state, the nation as well, with a few isolated thunderstorms popping up along the Colorado Rockies. And some of those are even starting to make their way across northern Wyoming and into the Black Hills of South Dakota. The Bighorns are starting to see some isolated thunder showers throughout the evening and into the Black Hills. Some conversation starters this week. There is some afternoon and evening thunderstorms possible on Sunday. Temperatures will reach the triple digits on Monday, and then we'll see cooler temperatures midweek. The forecast pattern we have is a high temperature that's going to be moving away, making its way across North Dakota, taking the comfortable temperatures with it as we have this pocket of thunder showers stretching out into North Dakota and into South Dakota by tomorrow afternoon. And then we're going to keep an eye on this cold front as it makes its way into KOTA Territory. This is the way it looks in your forecast. Temperatures in the lower 60s across KOTA Territory tonight. Custer a bit cooler with an overnight low of 57 degrees, 64 for an overnight low in downtown Rapid City. Scattered clouds tomorrow as temperatures warm up into the 90s, 92 for a high in downtown Rapid City, while Pine Ridge sees a high of 97 degrees. We'll have southeast winds 10 to 20 miles per hour across KOTA Territory. 99 degrees in Rapid City on Monday. However, in some of those more flat lands out towards the east, we'll probably see temperatures over the triple digits. Tuesday, we do have a chance for some isolated thunderstorms as that cold front makes its way into our area. 88 on Wednesday and Thursday, 94 on Friday. So pleasant temperatures this evening to end the rally.
All right, sounds good. Thanks so much, Sarah.
All right. The Harney Little League baseball team looks to earn a trip to Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
And top golfers took to the links for the final round of the Arrowhead Pro-Am. Vic Quick is in next with all the exciting highlights.
Get a super relaxing bed at an equally relaxing price. Come to Denver Mattress during our back-to-school savings event. Right now, you'll get no payments and no interest for 1 year. Plus, teachers and students get an additional 10% off. But hurry, this is a limited time offer. Denver Mattress. More mattress, less money.
Friday, August 17th is Food for Fun Night at the Central States Fair. Bring any Pepsi item to the Pepsi tents and receive a discount coupon for an all-you-can-ride wristband from 3 p.m. to midnight. Then redeem your coupon at any ticket booth and save $7 off the regular price. $1 of each wristband, by the way, purchased will go towards the KOTA Care and Share Food Drive. Come have some fun at the Central States Fair and help the KOTA Care and Share Food Drive feed the hungry.
Where do you turn for information about your health? The World Wide Web is a start, but how do you know if the content is trustworthy or weave through the tangle of terminology? It's easier at HealthSource. HealthSource is an educational section on the KOTATV.com website. It's written by local health providers about critical issues, empowering you to manage your health care better. HealthSource has easy-to-understand descriptions, testimonials, and pictures, and it's only at KOTATV.com.
Friend of mine, how do you like the news these days? If it affects you as it does me, you'll have the perpetual blues. Every day it goes from bad to worse. But I have good news from God who has the might and the power to turn things around. I'm Pastor Salem. Every Sunday on this station, I have news that thrills the soul and puts spring in your step. Why not tune us in and see what it's all about? My guess is that when you hear what God has to say, it'll make your day. Sure does mine.
Sports Ticker, presented by Great Western Bank.
Hardy looks to become the first South Dakota team to make a trip to Williamsport. Good evening, everyone. It's been a magical summer for the Hardy Little League baseball team, and today it's squaring off against Coon Rapids, Minnesota in the Midwest Regional Final, with the winner earning a trip to the big show in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. A large contingent of Hardy fans made their way to Indianapolis for this one in the first. 4-1 Minnesota, but Jake Lewis singles to left field. Jake Sullivan and Katis Holzen comes in to score as Hardy puts up a 3-spot in the first inning. In the second, still 4-3 Minnesota. Jake Sullivan changes that as he drives the pitch up the middle. Ben Davis comes on in. Corey Weedman right behind him. He's going to slide in safely at the plate. Hardy now playing with the advantage in the third, though Minnesota back up 6-5. That changes as Blake Stone crushes the pitch deep to center field, and that is out of the yard for a solo blast. Hardy scored in each of the first 3 innings today, but they ran into a little trouble in the latter frames. In the 6th, 13-8 Minnesota, Dominic Reff with the deep shot to left center. That's a grand slam, and Hardy comes up just short at its quest to reach Williamsport. But congratulations to the team on an excellent season. Coon Rapids, Minnesota takes it today, 17-8. Now the State Legion tournament rolled on today. Rapid City, Post 22, suffers its first loss of the postseason, falling to Aberdeen 14-11. Now the Hard Hats are still alive as attorneys double elimination. Now tomorrow afternoon at 4, Post 22 will play the winner of Aberdeen and Sioux Falls West. They will square off tomorrow at noon. Why, you ask? Well, also at the state tournament today, Sioux Falls West defeated Mitchell. That kept them alive by the score of 15-5. So Post 22 will play tomorrow at 4 p.m. Well, entering today's final round of the Dakotas Tour Arrowhead Pro-Am, Rapid City's Will Collins found himself just 2 strokes back of the leader, Brian Newman. And today, Collins looked to make a charge and walk away with the championship. A hot afternoon for golf. The fans sinking some shade out there. Action from the par 4 9th hole. This is Dan Norton with the nice chip shot, putting himself in excellent putting position. That would lead to a par for Mr. Norton. Chad Frisbee then sinks the putt for par. Frisbee had his putting stroke clicking this afternoon. Now here's last year's champion, Chris Gillespie, coming up. He's chipping himself, and it's a beauty. Some nice backspin. Keep an eye on this one. Got the yo-yo out to yank that ball back as he was looking to defend his title today. The leader heading into today's final round was Brian Newman. Here he is. Now I had to keep this shot low because of the trees, but no problem as the ball keeps on rolling for him, and it's going to settle on the back of the green. Brian Newman then looking for the par. Coming up here on the putt, and he's going to sink it. Newman played pretty well today, but the final round belongs to Rapid City's Will Collins. Here he is sinking the putt on 9, and Collins wins the Arrowhead Pro-Am. How about that? Let's take a look at the final results. Will Collins wins it at 16 under. Chad Fribley finishes second, 3 strokes back, and Dan Norton and Mike Troyer both finish at 12 under. Third round of the PGA Championship. Tiger Woods entered the day with a 2-strokes lead. Tiger on 12. The nice approach shot right here by Mr. Woods. And you guessed it, this was going to lead to a birdie. One of many birdies for Tigers today as he shot a 3-under 69. He heads into tomorrow's final round with a 3-stroke lead over Stephen Ames. So there you go, guys. It looks like Tiger is going to add to his major total. And also, we should tell Sergio Garcia disqualified today because he had an error on his scorecard. So when you go out and play golf, no cheating, Delane. You got to have your scorecard properly kept. Otherwise, you're done.
Vic, what would I do without you?
There you go.
Thanks a lot.
I have to cheat. That's the only way my scorecard looks good.
Yeah.
Well, they've scared up some of the best spooky sites to visit all across the Midwest. We'll take a look at what they found in KOTA territory when we come back.
They're the darlings of New York. They're well-mannered.
How many times do I have to tell you, get Magnus off the couch?
Maria, get Magnus off the couch, please.
They're kind-hearted.
And you better do what he says, or else you're going to wake up tomorrow morning and find your tire slashed. I have to go do a baptism.
They're
Well, the rumor is you can't act at all.
Well, you're poor.
good-natured. Wednesdays this fall.
I'll give you $5 million to represent the family.
You told me we'd never have to see these people again.
$10 million. Done.
When you're filthy rich,
You're on the clock, Nick. It's life and death.
you're bound to get a little dirty.
Nick deflowered me.
I have your prenups here for you to sign.
Oh, yeah.
Ready?
So exciting.
And there's only one man who can clean it up.
I'm not going to give a hooker a check. Make it sound so dirty.
That was not life and death.
Dirty, sexy money. Coming Wednesdays this fall, only on ABC.
Imagine if you could bring things back to life with just one touch. Coming Wednesdays this fall from the director of Men in Black and the Addams Family. The most extraordinary world ever brought to life on television.
You touch murder victims, you ask who killed them, you touch them again, they go back to being dead, and then you collect the reward?
That's it in a nutshell.
You're adorable. Look at your lips.
You couldn't have scooted back a little.
A modern fairy tale, the likes of which you've never seen.
I can't even hug you? What if you need a hug?
You can't touch me.
So a kiss is out of the question?
Filled with romance, mystery, and a touch of magic. Pushing Daisies, Wednesdays this fall, only on ABC.
We'll see temperatures in the 60s across KOTA territory tomorrow morning as we wake up. And then here in downtown Rapid City, we're going to be reaching the 80s by lunchtime with a high of 92 degrees.
It's not exactly a horror novel, but it's not for the squeamish either. The book, The South Dakota Road Guide to Haunted Locations, began flying off the bookshelves last summer.
Today, the authors revisited Rapid City to sign books and hear about any new spooky sites that you may have missed. Co-author Terry Fisk is actually from Wisconsin, but has researched ghost stories all across the Midwest for he and co-author Chad Lewis's Haunted Road Guides. They've done them for Wisconsin, Minnesota, South Dakota, Iowa, and are just about done with one for Illinois. Inspired by an unusual picture he had taken in a cemetery, Fisk has researched haunted places ever since. In the book, Fisk and Lewis write about 3 haunted places in Rapid City, including Hooky Jack's. They also write about a couple dozen other locations across the state. He says South Dakota was different from the other states they've researched because of the sparse population. But the scary stories were never hard to find.
It's rare that we have people say that they don't know of any place. A lot of times we'll come into a town and they'll say the entire town is haunted. Our school is haunted, the casino is haunted, this local store is haunted, and they have a list of haunted houses right in the neighborhood.
And Fisk says their books appeal to adventure seekers who want to find out where the best hauntings are, and for those who would rather read about the haunted places in the safety of their homes.
Now, I remember when we did that story at Hooky Jack's, and Amber Schatz, our reporter, did that story. She was a little freaked out.
She was unbelievably freaked out. She was showing us faces and all this crazy stuff.
So there may be some truth to this. We don't know.
Quite possibly.
Coverage you've come to expect, coverage you can count on.
Our first team salute comes from families at Canyon Lake Park. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.
Thanks for watching KOTA Territory News. Coverage you can count on yesterday, today, and tomorrow.